Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing a birthday card with you because, if you didn't know it, Julia from Craft Room Adventures is celebrating her birthday today. So if that was a secret, now everybody knows. I'm really sorry, Julia. But this card was made for her. I am using the Partners in Adventures, the Carpool by My Favorite Things. I will also use the Better Together for a small word. Those are the main items that I'm using today. I must admit, I have the Carpool. Now I think I got it like 3 weeks before the end of 2020, and I didn't get around to use it because then you are completely covered with making Christmas cards and such. So I'm so glad that I'm finally using it, and I knew that Julia loved it, so that's why I made a card for her with it. So you saw me stamping out the Partners in Adventures, and I masked off that little penguin because I just need a bear for this card, and it's already time for the coloring. So I stamped them out on perfect coloring paper by Transotype, and I'm using my Copic markers to color both bears, the accessories, and of course the clouds. So this card, actually, it's funny because Julia lives in Germany, I live in Belgium, so we're sort of neighbors, but in a completely other country, so still far apart. And we really would have loved to meet each other, to have met each other in 2020, but then we all know what happened in 2020, so that didn't happen. And I'm still hoping that I might see her this year, but maybe that's still a bit risky to hope for. But however, we are together in this car today on this card, and I love it. Or that was my idea. So I'm the one with the glasses. She also has glasses, but yeah, I want to just hold on the balloons for her birthday. Yes. So that's why that's me. And the other one, the most adult bear, is of course Julia, and she's driving with the car because currently I don't own a car and she does, so she's driving the car. Yeah. I'm doing 2 different browns for these bears, just because I wanted to have a bit of variation, but of course you can use the same brown color combination as well. That would work perfectly. And then I will do some red accents, but first I will start on the clouds. And I don't know why, but I really like to use the G0000 for clouds. It's a green one, but it's so gorgeous, and I just think it should be used for the clouds. It's one of my favorite lighter colors so far. So yeah, to get the clouds some sort of fluffy, I flick with my Copic markers. So that's what I'm doing. I turn the paper because it's more easy for me to flick upwards. Some people love flicking downwards, some people can do anything, but if I really want to get that soft idea, then I need to turn my paper. That's just more easy. So if you are trying things out, don't forget that you can move your paper around. Like, it's sometimes really hard to color things in without moving the paper. I sort of learned it myself when I decided that I was going to make videos, because I think it's less distracting, or however you can call it. But yeah, sometimes we just need to turn the paper to get the result that we want. So I'm making 2 red balloons, one of course much darker than the other one to have a bit of contrast between the two, but still in the same area, same family. And for the glasses, I'm also going to use this darker red shade. And then once everything is colored in, I'm going to use the matching dies to cut everything out. Yeah, because I like the finishing of matching dies. So that's it. And then I can start on my car. So for my panel, I die cut the basic rectangles by my elephant. I did that out of the same Transotype paper, and I also cut out the pieces for the car. So this adorable pattern paper is from the road Trippin, by My Favorite Things, and I just adore it. I love that paper pad. But before continuing with that, I'm first going to cut off the excess that I have from the penguin after die cutting, and that's ready to go. So that's my car with the bears in it. Oh, I love it. I truly, truly love it. So I'm going to use this adorable sentiment saying happy birthday to my favorite partner in adventure, or my partner in adventure, because with the challenges that Julia and I are doing each time again and again, she is sort of my partner in adventure. Yeah, I know it's a bit cheesy, but I love her. I'm so glad that we met, like not in person, but on Instagram and such, and I don't think that there is a week that we don't hear from each other. I think we hear daily from each other, but sometimes it's just busy, so I would understand it. I have used now the Better Together to stamp out friends on the plate of the car, because we are friends, and it also really fits with the sentiment that I'm going to use. So I'm going to heat emboss it. I'm using the Ranger embossing powder white super fine detail. I'm doing that because the Friends is quite small with a fine script, so I prefer using the Ranger powder that I have, because it's thinner, it's finer, it's better for the detailed stuff. So that's that. Then I'm going to lay it aside to cool down, and I can build the rest of the cards. So first, stamping out the sentiment, happy birthday to my favorite partner in adventure. Yes, I did remember it correctly. And once that's on there, I'm going to start with the car. So really handy about this car is that I'm going to show it a bit closer, but there are some, how do you call it? There are some imprints also on the lights. Really handy, you know exactly where you need to place it. Some dies from other companies, and maybe also by My Favorite Things, I am not sure, don't have the imprints, and that's fine, because then you have the choice where you are going to add the eyes or nose or whatever critter you are making, and that's lovely. But I sometimes struggle with getting everything sort of symmetrical, which I would prefer if I do a critter or anything, or here with the car, I prefer having the lights being symmetrical. And that's why I truly love dies like this that you can assemble, but that are perfectly helping you with getting placement right. But some people prefer having the freedom of putting things where they wanted to. Of course, here is an imprint. If you don't like it, you can always use your bone folder and just completely get it flat. It's no problem. But I really think it's an added value for myself, because I just prefer it to be neat and tidy. So adding the final things, I decided that I'm not going to add the cap to the front of the car, because I think it's cuter this way, and I don't want too much going on this car as well. So I'm just adding everything, and before I'm adding the wheel, no, not the wheel, the steering stuff, before I'm adding that, I'm first going to place the bears. So this is the idea. I really also like the fact that the bears can like hang, they sit in the car, but they can sort of hang out of it as well, as I'm doing here, because that's just, it's not realistic, but it's cute, and we are going for cute all the way. I'm going to use some washi tape to help me just get everything in place and keep it over there. And that's how I'm adding everything. And then when everything is together, then I can later on add it with some thin foam squares to my card panel. Oh, I love it! Yes. Okay, so before adding this to the card panel, I am first going to do some ink blending. You know me by now, basic rectangles, there is some stitching detail, so I am going to cover that up with purple tape before I start blending, because I like that, my white border. And then I will use some distress inks, the cracked pistachio and peacock feathers, and I will do a gradient from the top towards the bottom to get it really festive and bright. I'm sort of checking where I want it to be at least with my gradient, and then I'm going to do some ink blending. So if I can choose which color that I'm using for the back, I would always pick cracked pistachio. It's just such a lovely color. It's bright, it's vibrant, it's soft at the same time, because it's not in your face blue, but it's like more pastel-y, minty, bluish color, and I just adore it. So I was adding that, and then I thought maybe just a bit more depth, maybe just a little bit more color. So that's why I took the peacock feathers as well to add to the top of this card. And then I made sure to blend it out, going over into the cracked pistachio. So a really simple background. Sometimes your critters just need to stand out, and the background cannot distract too much, in my opinion. So that's when I do a background like this. And I just love it. So I'm removing the purple tape, and then I can start adding all my elements onto this panel. Like this. And then for the car, I'm going to use some thin foam squares from Scrapbook Adhesives. Yeah, that doesn't change. I just love this thickness, and the foam squares are so easy to handle, also to get the backings off. Really simple. Just adding that to the card. And then remember the clouds that I also colored in? I'm also going to add those, just flat on the card, so that the car and the critters and the balloons are just jumping off the card, but the clouds are just background. So I'm also putting it a bit on the edge to some sort of create the idea that the scene is going on beyond the card as well. So I need to trim that off. And then I can add this panel to a card base. Therefore, I'm just using some permanent Pritt adhesive roller, just laying it flat onto the card. And then I can add some final details. And I don't know if you know, but if you have watched some videos by Julia, then you know that she loves Stickles. So I have some balloons and I have glosses. Glossy accent is going on there. But I made sure to also add some Stickles to this card because, as I said, it's for Julia, so it has to have some Stickles. So I'm just adding it. I added it on the bottom of each cloud, and I'm also adding it to the wire that I have for the lights on the car. And then I will add some glossy accents. So I just think that balloons are the perfect excuse to add glossy accents to, and if you have glosses, even better, they just need glossy accents. This way it really looks like gloss, and I just love to add it to those items. And once that's on there, this card is finished. So I kept it quite simple, but I think it's a lot of fun, this one, and I think it's so cute with these amazing partners in adventure by my favorite things. So I hope you like it too. If you have any questions, you can always leave them down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can always give this one a thumbs up. I would truly appreciate that. I hope you have a wonderful day left, and I will see you back soon. Bye!